All right, real quick, as we look at the key matchups for the Green Bay Packers, not a super hard schedule, I don't believe, but it's certainly not easy. And they have that dreaded Week 5 bye. After the bye, they face the Bengals, Steelers, Ravens, Broncos, and Eagles, all of those games after their bye. Real quick, I do want to take a quick left turn. Raphael, if Kimberly is right in the chat, did Trey Hendrickson just sign with Cincinnati? Did he get a deal done,
I
or is
haven't
she just
seen.
putting a question?
He's just at camp now. He just got tired of being fined $50K every time he's
Yeah.
missing. I don't think he has
Okay.
signed yet. What I'm hearing is all about the signing bonus is now the holdup.
Leave it to the Bengals to be the only team to ever enforce the daily fines. The only team to ever enforce the daily fines. All right, let's get into it. Tommy, let me start with you because the Green Bay Packers, 5 out of 6 seasons under LaFleur, they've gone to the playoffs. That shocked me a little bit as I was doing my research for this segment because you don't think of them because when they get to the playoffs, they've had a quarterback transition. They now have their guy. He got paid. So now Jordan Love is the man in Green Bay. But when you look at the schedule, do you think having that Week 5 bye and having the Lions to start might be a little bit too much to ask for the Packers to get off to a good start?
Yeah, week 1 against Detroit. I mean, come on, that's just ridiculous. And a week 5 bye is not helping anybody because you got like 13 weeks of straight football. Here's the thing about the Packers, though, Coach, and everybody's doing it. They all want to beef up the offensive line. They saw what the Eagles can do. They have the best offensive line, and that's one of the things the Packers did. They went out and signed Aaron Banks, an offensive lineman. They need to beef up big time, and everybody's working on the offensive line. My last time on the Ravens, they did the same thing. They signed their guy. So everybody's looking to beef the offensive line. They shored up the secondary by signing Nate Hobbs too also. So they're looking at a pretty tough schedule. But man, you get a week 5 bye, you got 13 weeks of football. That's a lot of football. And then you're starting against Detroit. Ooh, you're already behind the 8 ball, guys.
But here's kind of the thing, Raphael. Tommy brings up a lot of good points, and a lot of teams have decided that the offensive line is where they're going to spend their money because of games like this. Detroit, this is year 3 under the Dan Campbell as they're really, really good, is what I mean. And Detroit is looking at it as this is our year. So when you got two teams who both think they're really, really good meeting in week 1, it's a gigantic step forward if they can get a dub. And having this schedule, and if you look at what I laid out as everything is basically backloaded, this is the game that they have to have.
Yeah, I mean, we're all looking at, week 5, that's a horrible bye. But at the same time, they could go 3-1 going into that bye. And going into that bye of 3-1, maybe beating the Lions, beating Washington was the Kool-Aid flavor of the year last year. I think that bye could be beneficial because they've had some key wins. I love week 1. I think they beat Detroit. I am not sold on Detroit at all. Their schedule's tough. They have new coordinators both on offense and in defense, and they lost a lot of their depth, which their depth last year was the reason why they were able to hang on because they had massive injuries, and that depth was able to help them out. This year, they won't have that. This week 1, the Lions open up at Pick'em. Right now, Green Bay is minus 1.5 point favorites. The public loves Green Bay in this matchup.
Wow.
I like them to win game week 1 and week 2. I think they start off the season 2-0.
So that's the thing. And part of the reason we put the numbers down when Raphael sent these in a week and a half ago, and that's the whole reason he has this job and he's so good at it. We wanted to show you as the lines move throughout the month. And this has kind of become a big thing, Tommy, is people trying to beat a number, but there's also a little bit of speculation. Well, a lot of speculation that goes into it because let's say it's week 2 and it's the Washington game. You see the number on the screen. But what if Terry McLaurin goes down? What if Jaden Daniels, God forbid, goes down? What if one of the Lions players, like last year, it seemed like every single week they had a big-time player going down. So when you're looking at a 1.5 point spread, even though there's speculation, Tommy, when you look at it, is that something you would play before you see week 1?
Boy, before I see week 1, I don't think so, Coach. I got to see week 1. I got to see what they do. Who comes out healthy? Because, football is all about health, guys. Man, you get hurt early, you are done for the season. So I got to see week one, what they do against Detroit. And by the way, Detroit, are they going to be any better than they were last year? I mean, they were hot last year and they got eliminated big time. So I'm a little worried about Detroit with the coordinators and everything. But week two with Washington, it's a crapshoot right there. I think either one of those teams could win, and it all comes out of week one and see if you're healthy or not. And let's see where McLaren is. Is he going to? I know he's in now, but he's not training at all, I don't think. So there's a lot of circumstances going on in that week two game there, and see who's playing, who's not playing. McLaren's not playing. That's a big hole for
It really is.
Washington. That's a big hole.
We're going to be looking at Washington on September 3rd, the day before the start of the season, as we break down the teams and the conferences. So we'll have a lot more information by then on Washington, who was a playoff team a year ago, or excuse me, and now Jaden Daniels, year number 2. He's gotten more press for his dating life and his mother than he has for football in the offseason. Raphael, quickly, I want to move to the end of the schedule because you see it on the screen there. Baltimore's week 17, and then they close the season at Minnesota, but they close the last 4 weeks with 3 road games out of 4 at Denver, at Chicago, then home to Baltimore, then at Minnesota. Oof. So they better be in a good position before you get to week 15 because that is not an easy road.
Yeah, week 17. First of all, it's a flex week, so that we don't know if it's a day game, night game, or it could be a Sunday night game or even a Monday night game. So keep an eye out for that week 17 game. But those 2 road games, Denver and what's Chicago going to be like? Everyone has high hopes. Chicago, brand new offensive line, quarterback in the second year who had his slump last year. Maybe he's going to have a sophomore emerged. So this one's going to be very interesting. Those 2 road games before they play the Baltimore Ravens in week 17 is going to be very iffy. I'm big on Green Bay this year, so I think week 17 could be very interesting because I think the Green Bay will be already in the playoffs.
As you and I'll just throw out some games. I know we only had room for 5 on the screen, but when you look at their entire schedule, they're at Arizona, not difficult. They're home to Cincinnati. That's good to have them at home. They're at Pittsburgh, so of course they're playing the AFC North. But the 2 games right before the bye week are at Cleveland and at Dallas. And the Cowboys are also very much a wild card team, meaning you really don't know how good they're going to be. How healthy is Dak? And we're going to be looking at the Cowboys with the Eagles the day that they play, which is Thursday night, September 4th. So the Cowboys will be playing Sunday night at home against Green Bay. And who can forget, a couple of years ago, Green Bay went in the playoffs, and they laid the wood to Dallas in Dallas.
Right.
So it's going to be one of those. It's going to be one of those situations where we'll see. They also play home to Carolina. They've got the Eagles at home. They're at the Giants. So to me, the schedule is difficult. Technically, yes, but the way it lays out, I think I agree with Raphael that this could be a really good year for Green Bay. And remember, we're talking about number 1 seeds in the AFC with Buffalo, Baltimore, and Kansas City. What about the number 1 seed in the NFC? Who's going to be the best team? Who's going to get it? Could it be the Green Bay Packers? We don't know.